Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back for another episode with your boy DJ CeeLo, and today we are gonna cover the review on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. If you know the history of Call of Duty, Modern Warfare is a series of games that was developed by Infinity Ward. The title that are included in this franchise is Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And the reason why I'm pointing this out is since 2007, since the first release of Modern Warfare, the game is still the same. It hasn't changed as much. The only thing that are changing are the campaign. But if you know the history of Modern Warfare, it's pretty much the same game. Just they never reinvent the wheel. They keep the same concept and they just change different campaign. Now, granted, the game feels very fresh. There are some new mechanics to the game, but overall, it's still the same mechanics since 2007. Now, do I recommend the game? I would say yes. It took me about 6 to 7 hours to complete the game. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think that some of the mission were drawn out a little bit too long, and it was tedious to me. Some of the things that you have to do just to complete the mission. What I did enjoy is that during the cutscene, they actually brought a lot of real life scenarios that actually happened with the military, and I also enjoyed how they actually have a general and the uniform and everything. The detail in the uniform looked like the actual current military standard. Now, the character that you are going to see during the campaign is Alejandro Vargas, Captain John Price, General Shepard, Colonel Alejandro Vargas, Hassan, John Soap, Kate, Kyle, Philip, Rodolfo, Simone, Valeria, Diego, Farah, Nikolai, and Nunes. Like I said before, for you to complete this campaign, it takes approximately about 6 to 7 hours. Do you want to pay the money to play a campaign for 6 to 7 hours? I would say yes, because it's worth it. Because at the end, you're still going to be able to play the multiplayer, and then Warzone will come out later on this year. Now, some of the mission that you will have to do here is called Strike, Kill or Capture, Network in Amsterdam, Tradecraft in Amsterdam, Borderline in the border of Mexico, Cartel Protection in Mexico, Close Air is in Mexico, Hardpoint is in Mexico, Recon by Fires in Spain, Violence and Timing is in Kyrgyzstan, El Sin Nombre is in Mexico, Dark Water, Gulf of Mexico, Alone is in Mexico, Prison Break is in Mexico, Hindsight, you got Ghost in Mexico, and Countdown is in Chicago. You're probably sitting here wondering why there's so many missions in Mexico. Well, the reason why is because there's a lot of missions that have to deal with smuggling weapons and stuff like that, and you're dealing with the cartel, and you have Alejandro Vargas, which is a special force for the Mexican forces. So that's the reason why there's a lot of mission in Mexico, and you're trying to stop them from the smuggling of weapons and stuff like that. Now, let's talk about my favorite part about the game during the campaign was the scene and actually the game playing in Amsterdam. I live about 6 hours away from Amsterdam. I live in Germany, and to tell you, 3 years ago I was in Amsterdam, and now that I'm playing the game, it looks so real. Like everything from how it looks in the streets, the buildings, the cobblestone, the bridges, the bikes, locations, you know, the restaurants, the bars. It looks so real, and it's like the detail is like literally like if I was there, and that's why this is probably one of my favorite part of the campaign is actually playing the Amsterdam mission. Another part that I really enjoyed about the game is this part right here where you actually came and you are looking into the bowl. Like I told you guys before, I served in the military. I did several missions in Afghanistan, and this right here hits home when I'm sitting on top of the mountaintop and actually looking for enemy to be able to call fire upon them. And this is the prime example of what realism looked like. So this mission right here also hits home because it shows how realistic and how it actually looks like inside of AC-130, and it also shows how AC-130 are able to identify friendly forces by that IR loom. that we have in our helmet. Like I told you before, these are some of the fine details that me as a serviceman and experienced in combat as an infantryman could relate to some of the actual real life engagement and how we mark the target with the laser, how these guys are doing right now. One of the things I will say that they probably need to improve is some of the lighting on the night scenes and the night gameplay. I think that some of those lights that they have in the streets are overpowering into the streamer eyes or the player eye. I felt like I needed to take some breaks because those lights were like kind of like overpowering, and I was starting to get tired and stuff like that. So I don't know, this is probably something that they need to take in consideration. It was just me, but I don't know, maybe other streamers had the same issue. Another part that I really want to point out is how well they did the Chicago mission. It felt very real, with the little birds approaching the city, how the city looked like, the lights. Overall, man, this is a really good made game. I didn't have no issues with glitches or anything like that. Like I said, I just seen, me personally, some of those missions were a little bit too much, repetitive, tedious to me. But overall, I will give this game, I'd say an 8.5 out of 10. Now, the reason why I give it 8.5 out of 10 is because, you know, at the end of the day, Modern Warfare title, it's one of my favorite title to play out of all the Call of Duty they have and I own. But also, I was expecting a little bit more. I needed a little bit more innovation in the game, giving me something completely new, more modern. Yes, I'm still looking for the modern feel of the game and the modern style of war fighting and stuff like that. That's the reason why I gave it 8.5 out of 10. If they would have brought, you know, more to the game instead of just keeping it the same, I think I would have gave it a 10. But overall, well-made game. I give the people that made the game a pat on the back.